In this video, I'm going to show you how to refurbish an old PC to sell it. Today I'm going to be cleaning up this old Dell Optiplex 7010 and it's in a little bit of rough shape. Now I'm not going to worry too much about the cosmetics of this old Dell Optiplex. I just simply want it to be a solid, reliable running PC for its next owner. Now, as you can see, this thing looks pretty clean overall. Now, I did clean it for the most recent video building a $100 gaming PC, so it's pretty clean, but there are a couple of issues. And one major issue being the GPU was getting really hot. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually take the GPU out and clean it and replace the thermal paste. Now on these old Dell PCs, they have this little latch system to access the graphics card. And there's this little latch right down here. I'm just going to pull that back and pull up gently on the graphics card, and it should come out just like that. Now we're going to flip the graphics card over, and what you want to do is remove these 4 screws right here. I'll make sure to have links down in the description below for all the products or tools that I'm using in this video. It doesn't really matter, but I just like to remove everything in a crisscross kind of pattern just to keep pressure even on all the components. And that is super important to do while retightening everything. Once those screws are out, we can just go ahead and lift this off. Oh yeah, that thermal paste is super dried up. Probably the best, cheapest, and easiest way to clean up thermal paste is some isopropyl alcohol and some Q-tips. Or if you're feeling really bougie, you can get some actual thermal paste cleaning wipes. Next, I'm going to take this Fantic air duster and just blow off the whole GPU here, as well as the fan. The fan's probably, and the heatsink there is probably the most important part of this, just for maximum airflow and make sure that this GPU can stay as cool as possible. Now that that's done, we can go ahead and reassemble the GPU. I'm going to go ahead and plug the fan back in here. We're going to take some thermal paste. I'm using some Arctic MX6 here. Just put a little dollop of this on the GPU die. You don't need a lot, especially for this tiny GPU here. This stuff is not wanting to come out of this tube. Goodness gracious. We got some thermal paste on there. Go ahead, and what I like to do to align it properly is actually put it together upside down, and that way you can line up the screw holes and potentially not spread that thermal paste around too much. I'm going to go ahead and put the screws in, and like I said before, it is important to put these screws in a crisscross pattern to make sure the pressure is applied to the GPU die evenly and you don't end up cracking it or something like that. And these screws also don't need to be super tight, they just need to be snug and bottom out that little spring on there. There's actually a little spring on that screw. Pretty much once that bottoms out and the screw is nice and snug, that's really all it needs. And just like that, this little AMD RX 550 is fully serviced. Now I'm going to do the same treatment for the CPU as well and pop this cooler off. Very similar process actually to doing the GPU. For this cooler, it's just 4 screws and you just take the cooler off and the CPU is right underneath there. Pick this up, we're going to go in here and unplug the fan. There's our CPU. Now this thermal paste is actually pretty new because I just put this CPU in here for the previous video, so this stuff isn't nearly as dry. It's the dry, crusty thermal paste that's kind of annoying. It just gets kind of crumbly, gets down in all sorts of little cracks and crevices. It's just not nearly as nice to clean up. But since this PC is going to be for sale and it's going to go to a new owner, I want it to be running top notch. I'm going to go ahead and clean off the cooler as well. Make sure to always remember to clean off the CPU cooler. Now what I'm going to do is go over the whole motherboard. Since the heatsink is off, it's easy to get access to all of it. And I'm going to blow out this fan and heatsink as well. Just get everything all cleaned up, all the dust out of here. This intake fan also needs to be cleaned. It's not too bad, but there's a little dust on there. And one thing that people really forget about is the power supply as well. So make sure to dust that out as well. Now that we've got our motherboard looking pretty much brand new, we can do the same treatment as the GPU. Put a little bit of thermal paste on here. Maybe just like a pea-sized amount is really all you need for this. And go ahead and plop the CPU cooler back down. Try not to move it around too much. You want it to just pretty much press straight down. And you don't want to smear the thermal paste around too much. Then go ahead and screw this down in the same kind of crisscross pattern to apply even pressure over that CPU. Again, these screws on here are spring-loaded. Obviously, your cooler may vary depending on what kind of PC or what kind of cooler you're running, but these ones are also spring-loaded and will bottom out when they're tight. Just go ahead and plug that CPU fan back in. Make sure not to forget that, which I have done before, and was wondering why my CPU was overheating. Well, my fan wasn't plugged in. All those are snugged up, and this thing is looking nice and clean. I just need to reinstall the GPU here. Man, I really don't like the design on these old Dell Optiplexes. It's such a weird fit. There we go. And this little guy fell out, so make sure to put him back in there, just like that. Just close it up, it's locked in, we're good to go. Now that the hardware side of things is taken care of, I need to take care of the software side of things. First things first, I want to do a temperature test on both the GPU and CPU to make sure they're both running optimally at their maximum performance. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to reinstall fresh install of Windows 10 on here so that it's ready to go for its new owner. So maybe one of the best ways to benchmark your GPU and test its temperatures is by running a benchmark like this. I'm using Unigine Heaven benchmark here. As you can see, it's pegging our GPU at 100%. And so this thing is putting in its full amount of work, and I'm gonna let this benchmark run and see what our peak temperature comes back at. So I went through and ran the benchmark on completely max settings, so our FPS and score here doesn't matter too much, but we hit a max temperature of 84 degrees Celsius, and this GPU does run pretty hot. It's got a very small cooler on it. This is like the low profile version of this RX 550 4GB. But that is still about 5 to 7 degrees cooler than what it was before, so that's definitely an improvement here. So to test our CPU temps, I'm running a Cinebench R23 test. I'm running the multi-core here to peg our CPU at 100% load. I'm going to let this run completely and see what our maximum temperatures come back at. If they're nice and cool, then we are good to go. So this test has been running for about 7 minutes now, and as you can see here, we are peaking out about 61 to 62 degrees Celsius on our CPU temps, which is perfectly reasonable for our i5-3470 that's in here. So I'm going to go ahead and shut this PC down and show you how to install a fresh copy of Windows 10 on here. First things first, you'll need a USB drive, which you can go ahead and plug into a PC that already has an operating system on it. So go ahead and open up the browser of your choice. We're going to go Windows and download in the search bar. Click the download Windows 10 on the official Microsoft store. Make sure you only get it from the official Microsoft website here. We can scroll down to create Windows 10 installation media, click the download button. Then up here you should be able to click it once it downloads, click yes. We can exit off of the website actually. Then all you need to do is just kind of go through the setup process here. Once you get to this menu, you're going to have two options here. Make sure to select the Create Installation Media option and click Next. I'm just going to uncheck the Use Recommended here, make sure everything is as we want. You can do 32-bit, 64-bit, or create it for both, but I'm creating this for 64-bit. You can either do a USB flash drive or ISO file for a DVD, but I have a USB flash drive, so make sure that's selected and click Next. Make sure you select the correct removable drive here and click Next, and it will begin downloading the Windows 10 installation media to your flash drive. Once it goes through its whole process, you'll get this message right here. Just go ahead and click Finish. After that, you can go ahead and remove that USB flash drive. And we're going to go over to our Dell Optiplex 7010 here and plug it in. I like to plug it into the motherboard. Go ahead and turn on the PC and just spam the boot menu key. Every PC is different. You can go online and figure out which boot menu key is for your PC or for your specific motherboard if you have a custom-built PC. So now that we're in here, I can go and select the boot device. I'm going to go ahead and select the UEFI SanDisk, which is the USB flash drive that we just created the installation media on. And you should get into the Windows installation setup. So we're going to go Install Now. I currently don't have a product key, and you can enter that in later, or you can enter it there if you have a product key. But most motherboards, like this motherboard, already has a product key tied to it, so I shouldn't need one. I'm going to go ahead and install Windows 10 Home on this PC. You can go ahead and select whichever one is right for you. Just accept the terms. You can read through that if you want to. I'm going to go ahead and clear all of the old partitions here, just like that. So we only have one drive, which is the 500 gigabyte hard drive in this PC. And I'm going to select that because that's the only option, obviously. If you have multiple drives, you'll probably see multiple options. And you click next, and it should go through the installation process. And just like that, we're booted into the Windows setup screen. And this is where I'm actually going to leave it. That way, whoever buys this PC can go through the setup themselves and set up Windows how they want it. So that's how you go ahead and refurbish a PC. It's super simple to do and will ensure that the PC is running in top-notch condition for the next owner. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.